You know the guys who can fly in from abroad and have not figured out from Kitengela.
True.
Yeah, man.
True.
Check it. I'm in Doha. Check it. Okay, let me leave. You guys, by the time I'm at the airport, the person has checked out. I feel like podcasting for me is very selfish because I bring on guys I like. Number one, okay.
Yeah.
Then number two, it's been therapy for me. It was a very rough time for me when I was beginning the podcast. My mother just died. My marriage had entered the sea of forgetfulness. So, like, the podcast was my only escape where I could just lose myself into these stories. Then we laugh about them.
Yeah.
So we talk about how hungry you are on that day and you laugh. Instead of just coming up with stories from your imagination, if you tell a story that's based on a truth, you get more results. That's why my set is full of my stories about my life and stuff like that. So even on the podcasts, you know, we took up the same model.
By the time someone has spent time on your podcast, they know you so well that even when you share your stories, some of your stories, they might even tell you, oh man, no, haikukuwa hivyo.
They correct me. Check up on hiyo sifa ndio nilipiga ile day.
Is a haircut something you are normally passionate about?
Yeah, I want to look a certain way, but I never achieve it. But don't worry, at your show, I'll already have gotten the haircut. So
How many times do you get a haircut?
maybe once a week.
Every week. What?
See, me, I work on audio-visual radio.
Okay.
If I don't get a haircut, I'll start getting comments from my boss. I pay you. Where's the nywele?
Why do you look the way you look?
Yeah, man.
You tell him you're not paying me enough for a haircut.
I'm sure that would work out really well. Huh?
You never know.
Yeah,
You never know. Man, but you know, for me, I get a haircut once every couple of months.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and I do my own haircuts. Yeah.
Is it because of living abroad?
You know, I would think ever since I graduated high school, haircuts have not been a big thing for me.
I feel like haircuts waste a lot of time in Nairobi.
Spend time in the barbershop.
Yeah, you have to get your hair cut, and then first of all, the guy who used to cut my hair, because I'm trying to get a new guy. So that guy used to, he's a perfectionist. So it takes such a long time with my hair. And Kitengela is like 2 hours away from anywhere. You know the guys who can fly in from abroad and have not figured out from Kitengela.
True.
Yeah, man.
True.
Check it. I'm in Doha. Check it. Okay, let me leave. You guys, by the time I'm at the airport, the person has checked out. You guys are up waiting
with all the
for
queues at the airport, they're already done, man.
Check it, you are late. Check, no, I was in the traffic in Mlolongo.
My imagination is that when you guys show up, you know, when you live in Kenya, you show up in Nairobi, you're covered everywhere apart from your eyes.
Especially if, you know, it's not actually a joke. If you use a bike when you're leaving Kite, if you're leaving my place, the road is dusty because the cars on the road, they raise the dust.
Yes.
So you're on a motorbike, you're facing all that dust. By the time, there was once I came to town and somebody was like, hey, kwani umetoka wapi? Cheki me. Kwa nini? Cheki kuna vumbi kwa nywele. Cheki me. Damn. So it's actually not even a myth, it's a true story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it healthy though?
It's not healthy, but at least you're not paying rent.
You probably should look
The
at
money you're saving on rent, you'll use it for your health.
Yeah. How's your breathing right now? You should check your breathing. Your lungs are probably working at 60% capacity.
The money you guys are spending here in Nairobi on rent, us guys, will spend it on our health in the future because we are saving that money.
But I also think that living in Kitengela is such a nice thing because of can I say there's fresh air? I mean, once you live around the traveling and the dusty roads and stuff like that, there's probably relaxation and fresh air.
No, it's quiet once you get to the house. The journey home is arduous. I don't know if I've pronounced it right. Yeah. But when you get to the house, it's nice, it's quiet. You hear those birds, which you don't hear in Nairobi. You know those birds? Like those are the sounds you hear.
Are there any birds in Nairobi, actually, apart from those stalks?
Nairobi is crazy. You guys are living with vermin. Huh? Us guys are living with the real birds which were created to live on the planet. So yeah, once you get to the house, it's nice. It's really, really quiet. It's so quiet that when you're leaving, you feel like, do I have to leave?
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm always kind of late for my meets because leaving is hard. And then there's also a checklist before you leave because, you know, it's not a place you can leave and dash back.
Yeah.
So have I switched off the iron box? Have I turned off the pump? the taps, even the connection to the tank,
Yeah.
will it overflow? So there's a whole checklist
You
for an aeroplane.
you have an actual checklist.
Yeah. You have
normally
to do it with your
checking,
first officer. Check it, tap off, iron box off, gas off. Actually, you have to switch off the gas. There's once I came and found the gas was
leaking
Yeah,
the entire
leaking
house.
house, yeah.
Lucky that there was no spark that would have
Right,
lit the entire house on fire.
But in 2026, I think I'll spend most of my time in Nairobi
Why?
because of my podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to spend more time here, just looking for guests, shooting.
Yeah.
Maybe get a more comfortable spot in the city and just, lock in.
If you haven't checked out the Kisiangani podcast yet, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, there are many people who haven't checked it yet, you guys. You're on how many subscribers now?
I'm at 14,000 right now.
What?
It's interesting. I was looking at my stats. I was at 400 last year at a time like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so there's been tremendous growth over the past couple of months, I'd say. I want to give a shout out to a sponsor of this episode, Olympic Auto Center. Olympic Auto Center has been servicing car enthusiasts and car owners for more than 3 decades, servicing the Twin Cities and the state of Minnesota since the 90s. They have the experience, the passion, and the will to make your ride smooth. If you are in need of towing services, auto repair, or buying a new or used car, reach out to Olympic Auto Center now.
I remember coming across your podcast. I was like, oh, this nigga with this deep voice.
Welcome to the Card Connect podcast. My name is Ogato.
They give me, who's this guy?
What did you think the first time
Another
you came across?
podcaster? Shit.
Too many podcasters though, right? You wake up in the
No,
morning and
but
you're
still.
scrolling through your phone and you see all this interesting podcasts. So.
I think the first time I saw your podcast, I saw Victor Nyaata on it.
Yeah.
And then after that, now it said popping in my feed. Then I saw Eric Otwe.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy is now a member of the crew.
Yeah.
man. Yeah. No, but you're doing well. Congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks for accepting me into the community.
Accepting you. I
Yeah,
think
man.
you're with or without my acceptance. You're deep in.
Yeah, I mean, into your circle at least. I mean, maybe not necessarily the other podcasters, but you personally. I think that over the few months that we've interacted, we don't talk a lot, but the few times we've talked, we feel like we've been buddies.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't feel like an outsider in your life. In your circle.
Okay.
But of course, the fact that I'm a subscriber to your pod, do you ever feel that you're on Ziggest, is what they're called, right? Ziggest know you a lot. They know you more than you know yourself.
I think I overshare, to be honest. I overshare. Even me, I'm like, yo, why did I say that?
Yeah.
But it's not forced. It came from stand-up comedy. Because stand-up comedy, you end up... I discovered that if you share from your life, you get a better result.
Yeah.
Rather than just inventing stories from your arse. Can you say arse on this podcast?
Of course you can. They'll just be muted.
So yeah, instead of just coming up with stories from your imagination, if you tell a story that's based on a truth, you
Yeah.
get more results.
Yeah.
That's why my set is full of my stories about my life and stuff like that. So even on the podcasts, we took up the same model.
Yeah, by the time someone has spent time with you, by the time someone has spent time on your podcast, they know you so well that even when you share your stories, some of your stories, they might even tell you, oh man, no, haikukuwa hivyo.
They correct me.
It's
Check
like
hapana
this.
hiyo sifa ndio nilipiga ile day.
Yeah.
But obviously it's delivered in a certain fashion.
Yeah.
I remember there was this chick I invited to go for a stroll with. So I was like, yo, can we go for a walk? Then she's like, no, you with your commongarization stories. So I'm like, that's not me everywhere. Like, that's it. I can turn that on the podcast. Off the podcast, I'm pretty chill.
Yeah.
Like, I can't meet someone and start saying, unajua nikikukomonga. Like, that's crazy. Like, who would behave like that? So, yes, it's personal stories, but also delivered in a certain way that makes it maybe funny or interesting.
Yeah.
But off the podcast, guys are very quiet. The guys I work with, Kina Bashir,
Very quiet. I was hanging out with
George.
Bashir here the other
You're
day.
with him here. Shout out to him. So you should also have George.
Yeah.
And Duta, obviously. So it's off the podcast. It's a bit quieter, but the podcast gives you a chance, to express yourself and share stories which maybe guys wouldn't talk about in front of a camera.
Yeah.
And then you laugh about it, and it's some sort of therapy, I think, for many people.
I want to take this opportunity to give a shout out to a sponsor of this episode, Candy Home Survey Realty. If you want to buy a property, whether it's a property for you to live in or a commercial property for you to invest in, reach out to Candy. Candy Home Survey Realty has made it possible for multiple lives to be transformed. If you want to transform your life today and move to one of the coolest provinces in Canada, reach out to Candy Home Survey. Most of my friends nowadays don't want to share their stories with me.
Oh, for real? They feel like you'll share them here? But do you?
No, I don't. A friend of mine called me the other day and was like, she told me a very intimate story. Then she was like, man, that thing that I told you, please don't share it on your podcast.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I don't do that.
But why did they share with you? I think that was the first blunder. Cheki shida yako ni nini? Mbona ulimwambia? Si unajua ako na microphone mbili.
We might end up, tearing down the entire story and analyzing it, in detail.
But there are some stories which you keep to yourself, I'm sure.
Of course.
Even me, there are stories about my life which I tell Kina George, no, don't say this and this and this. Yeah. So that you don't go blast. I feel like, yes, you'll get a chance to share the stories, but I guess that time will come.
Yeah, the time of sharing the stories?
Yeah. As in that story which I'm keeping to myself.
Yeah.
When I'm ready, I'll share it.
You'll share it.
Yeah.
So do you think that, if you run through 10 years of podcasting, by the time you're at year 10, man, your entire life is out there. And for you, I think you do every day. You do drop out an episode.
Last year, we were doing 4 episodes a week.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's probably 200 episodes for the year.
Yeah.
So, man, going through 200 episodes and you haven't shared, your entire life is crazy.
No, but also there are other people who are on the podcast who are sharing their lives.
Okay.
All right. So if it's me and Kina George, maybe I'll share a couple of things. And then we do a show called Full House where we talk about things which are happening, trending stories. There you don't get an opportunity to share much about your life.
Yeah.
I think why I share the most is a thing I do with Bashir called Blissful Banter. So it's just me and him, and then we just riff off things, and mainly it's life happenings and stuff. So that's why I share. But in order to keep the 4 episodes a week going, I bring in different energies. I'm always trying different pairings of energies.
Is there anyone you're trying to emulate? Do you have maybe not emulate, but kind of model yourself after?
In terms of volumes, I think Mwaf.
Okay.
I feel like Mwaf is the hardest working podcaster we have right now.
Yeah, man.
And I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be on that level. And I'm not saying that arrogantly. I'm talking about my life setup. I don't have a wife or kids. All right? And my relationship scenario is weird.
Yeah.
So, what am I doing that's making me do only 1 episode a week? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, you have a day job, right? My job is an evening job, which is still in the same alley.
Yeah.
So I have to get to work by 5. I'm on radio between 7 and 10.
Yeah.
So what am I doing the whole day that gives me the license to only 1 episode a week? You don't think that's being lazy? Yeah. So I feel like to be honest, I don't feel like I've hit the potential I should have in terms of output. But obviously, there's also the question of quality, because you just don't want to
continuously produce.
Yeah. So in terms, you're asking me about who I emulate. I think Mwaf is, in terms of volume and work ethic, I think him. In terms of style, I like Joe Rogan's style of having a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
So he says he just wants to have an honest conversation with somebody, whoever the heck it is, whether they agree or not. So that's what I try to do on the pod, to make someone just forget that there are cameras around, and then we just have that conversation. Obviously, you'll be conscious at the back of your mind there's a camera. But if the more I can make you feel like hakuna mtu mwingine, we are not recording this stuff, I think that would be success.
Yeah. True. So I was telling your co-host, the way I normally set up my recording is I normally don't have anybody in here. So I just have the cameras and I record straight to a hard disk. So the device that I used to record, my recorder, is either lost somewhere, stolen, or I forgot it in Toronto. And so for that reason, I need someone to come and keep checking on the cameras, because now I'm recording straight to memory card. And I realized that when you're just by yourself, man, people open up they're more comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like in
as
the room?
opposed in the room, yes. As opposed to when there is multiple people walking in and out of the room or even seated in the room.
Oh,
because
okay.
someone is kind of like conscious there is somebody else there.
But if you're alone in the room, then you unleash a whip.
Well, they run away, I guess. Or stay.
Hey, why are you being wait? Just be comfortable. No, but I get what you're saying. I've felt that even at our studio.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm working. Yes, I need a producer. And I feel like maybe this year is the year when we'll get a producer. But these times when we have no producer, I'm in studio and we just have the camera there. And you just have the guest there.
Yeah.
It's as if they just open up.
Yeah.
Like, but when there's a stranger lurking around, they sort of hold back.
Even the people that they come with sometimes. Some of my guests come with, people. I had a guy here who came with the 3.
What do you think about that, though?
I mean, I don't know. They need their security. Elon Musk shows up in your podcast, man. He's showing up with like
They
20
can
people.
chill outside the security.
I don't know. I mean, they could.
I feel like it messes the energy sometimes.
Yeah, I think so too. But sometimes the guest wants these people there so that they can also take their own clips, for their own use and stuff like that. And so, of course, you don't want to limit anyone. You want them as comfortable as possible. And maybe by having that extra person in the room, they are comfortable.
Yeah.
I haven't had many ladies on my pod, but ladies always come by themselves. And all the time, because I'm mostly meeting them for the first time, they're like, I wasn't sure if I should just come by myself. So a friend of mine was going to come with me, but then she pulled out at the last minute. She told me, man, she can't come.
How do you make them comfortable?
We just, I don't know, we will probably have a meal. And, by the time we are sitting here, I always try to have a meal with all the lady guests.
Okay.
My male guests, some of them would have a meal with them if they have the time. If they don't, we'll just come here straight. I feel like it's easier to do with male guests because probably maybe because I'm also male. So we kind of feed off of that energy. And maybe they've seen me somewhere before.
So, like for me, well, you'll come to my place soon.
Yeah.
There's a corridor you have to go through before you get into our spot.
Into the slaughterhouse.
So that corridor is dark. I always feel some sort of sadness for the chicks when they're coming. Yeah. So I go downstairs and meet them downstairs.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, do you want something to eat? Luckily, there's a restaurant there. I get for you whatever you want to eat. And then it's when we go up.
Yeah.
But there's a lady called Raquel who came on her. She was directed on her own.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, that corridor was a bit intimidating. And then also, I try to have Nduta around. That helps.
Yeah.
Like when they come in, they see Nduta is there. They're like, oh, okay, this is chill. But once they get into the studio, it's normally pretty chill.
Yeah. And are they guests that are, or is it normally strangers for you?
No, mostly it's guests.
You've interacted
the ones
with?
I have had on, I've interacted with them. Maybe some more than others, but most of them I've interacted with them. Juicy, I had a chick called Abigail Larunga. Shout out to her. You should have her on here.
Yeah.
She, she came, we hung out for 2 hours, very comfortable. I remember I had Maria Prude. You know Maria Prude?
Yeah, I've seen her.
She's become quite a favorite on my podcast.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time she came to radio, because that's where I met her first. She was worried about me pushing her for us to get clickbaity stuff. Okay?
Yeah.
So I told her, hey, but they relax over here. We're just going to have a conversation. We're not looking for any clickbait. So that made her relax so much that she even said coming over to the podcast.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you just make them as comfortable as you can, and because there are enough creeps already on the planet, so you just make them feel very comfortable. They chill.
Yeah, and I think it's important to do that because if you create, that rapport that you are a comfortable podcaster, then I guess you probably get more, continuously continue getting.
Yeah, because they'll recommend
guests.
They'll recommend other people to come through to your podcast.
And I think that's also how you grow your pod because you get, people to recommend guests to come on the pod.
Yeah.
You talked about podcasting being therapy. And, we were talking about it earlier on, and then I cut you off by asking you another question. When you say that podcasting becomes therapy, is it therapy for you or for the guests or for the audience?
I think it's for me, man. I feel like podcasting for me is very selfish. Because I bring on guys I like, number one. Okay?
Yeah.
Then number two, if I'm bringing on somebody I like, I'm the one who's very interested.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I am very interested in someone, I think the audience catches on to that energy. They're like, hey, who's this person? Who is this person is so interested in? So if I'm talking about it as therapy, it's been therapy for me.
Yeah.
And then also when I was starting the podcast, you remember, it was a very rough time for me when I was beginning the podcast. My mother
Yeah.
just died. My marriage had entered the sea of forgetfulness. So, like, the podcast was my only escape where I could just lose myself into these stories. Then we laugh about them.
Yeah.
So you talk about how hungry you are on that day and you laugh. So the girls with Kinabashir and another guy called Steve Charlo, they're the ones we started with. So I think we're all going through something. Steve Charlo was homeless. Bashir was struggling in Rongai, trying to keep up with the rent and stuff like that. Me, my house was empty. My furniture had been, taken out. So that is what I'm saying was therapy for me, because I've never gone for therapy, like professional therapy, but that took me through that period, and like it's been like that ever since.
And what do you think about your audience? Do you think they ever get any sort of therapy from the pod?
I don't know, to be honest, but there's a guy who sent me a very long message of New Year and said the podcast has really kept him going.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. His name is Bakari. He says, like, the year was really tough for him, and he'd look forward to a new episode of the podcast. So I feel like, because our podcast is very male heavy, maybe the stories we used to share about our lives used to someone out there is going through that, and would relate to it, and also relate to the growth over time. So maybe we don't go out and say, he pod ni therapeutic. But maybe there's someone who just likes it. Some guys listen to it when they're working.
Yeah.
So they put it in the background, then they just work with it in the background. There's a lady I met called Blessed 112. Who's the most, you know her, right?
Yeah, from somewhere in America.
Yeah, man. She was the most unlikely podcast watcher that I've ever come across.
Yeah.
I was like, what? You watch?
I think she watches all Kenyan podcasts.
Yeah, man.
Where does she get the time to do that?
She's so supportive, man.
Yeah.
So I met her, and it was quite surprising to meet someone like that. I don't think we'll ever know how many people really relate with the work that you see, like the work you're doing. I don't think you'll ever know how many people you're impacting, or how many people are using this just to get through a day, or learning from the guests that you have here. I don't think we'll ever know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the impact is serious.
I think that is true, the fact that we'll never know. But I do hope that there's actual value, because what we're doing here is, the way you say that you're throwing out, it's like you're throwing out a fishing line, a fishing net, and then you're hoping to fish. But in our case, like we're throwing out food into the sea, and we're hoping that, whatever sea animal over there would feed on the food, and it would be beneficial to them.
Yeah. But I don't think you'll ever know until you keep doing it for a while. That's when you'll know the audience you attract.
Yeah.
So after a number of episodes, you realize, hey, bana, my podcast is attracting men.
Do you know what audience you attract?
Yeah, like 91% males.
I'm at about 85% male.
Hey, you guys, you're killing it. You have 5% more females than us guys. But our females are also really cool people.
Yeah.
I've met some of them, and they're always telling us, kuna madem hapa. But from the stats, it's mainly dudes who watch the podcast. I feel like the chicks will catch up.
Yeah, I met a girl some time back, maybe 2-3 months ago. We were hanging out, and then she tells me, "Man, I've been seeing your podcast." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to do something." So, is your podcast like a place, a safe space for men? I was like, whoa, that's what you get from it? Because I think that's not what my intention was. And I was sharing this with Eotwe the other day, and maybe even Mwaf. I was telling them how that comment made me kind of rethink. But after a while, I was like, after talking to them, they were like, what's wrong with it being a male-oriented?
Yeah, true. See, we also need safe spaces.
and so after talking to them about that, man, a certain famous musician came over here. We did the pod for like 2.5 hours. And we finished whatever I want to talk to him about. I'm not looking for personal stories, those clickbaity stuff, because I don't want this to be a place where people are going to come and, look for motion, sort of. But after we were done, man, the guy started opening to me about his, first of all, he told me, man, thank you very much for welcoming me here. This has been therapeutic for me.
Oh, for real?
And then we went on for another 2 hours now off cameras, just talking about life, man. And the guy was like, man, this was like therapy for me, man. I'm so happy that we did this, man. He shared about his, his relationships. We must talk about relationship, man. And he shared to me about how his former partners have taken him through a very rough, serious patches, man. And I was just listening, man. And I had another guest coming, but I told them to wait a little bit, and I just told them, I'm gonna be like maybe an hour late because I realized I don't want to rush this guy. Tell him, that there's another guy coming.
You didn't want to tell him his session is over. Check it. Thank you.
Your time's
Asante. Yeah. Tuonane next time.
Yeah, but and that's why I asked you, what do you think about this being therapy for us, our guests, and our audience too? I think it's like a trifecta in some sort of way.
I think for the guests, it's also therapeutic because most people feel good after talking about themselves. Have you ever noticed? Like you've read the way guys say you go for a party, right? Then you meet someone. One of the ways to maintain conversation at a party is you ask these guys about them.
Yeah.
So like, hey, what do you like? What movies have you been seeing lately? What are you investing in? And then they share all manner of stuff. And then at the end, they're like, that was an amazing conversation.
Yeah.
So I think there's something about when you let someone talk in a focused space. Yeah. Have you noticed when you enter this space, there are things you'll share which you won't share outside there?
Of course, man.
Yeah, the mic, the setup, like you're focused, you're here to talk. It makes somebody open up in ways they wouldn't open up on the couch over there.
Yeah.
So I think when the person sits down and really shares about themselves, that's why they even hang around later. Because they feel like this was a good conversation because they've talked about themselves. Someone is listening. Have you ever tried to, I don't know if you're dating. Have you ever tried to tell...
I'm married.
You're married. I don't know about your marriage. Shout out to the missus.
Yeah.
But trying to tell a chica story is very interesting. Because you'll tell her, hey, by the way, on my way here, I was knocked by a boda.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, you're knocked? Yeah. Hey, by the way, I got some new flowers. So like, yo, man, I'm still telling you about my boda story. You don't want to be invested in that. So if you come to a space like this where someone is actively listening, and the other guy is also actively sharing, I think at the end you'll feel that thing that was nice.
Have you ever done podcast late at night and felt sleepy?
No, I've not.
You've not done one when you're tired?
No. The latest one I've ever done, interestingly, is with Sajid. So we were together from 7. I think we did like 3 hours. It was crazy. Yeah. But why? Is there a difference if you do the evening?
When you're tired. No, I'm sorry I mentioned the evening maybe. So for me, in nighttime is not a very good time for me because I'm normally tired. I wake up very early. And so by evening, by 7 p.m., I'm normally done. But because, I have a schedule I got to maintain until 9 p.m. So like right now, 9 p.m. is like my hard stop when I'm still energetic. But recently I had this guest and we went on till 3 in the morning, man.
Damn!
I was so sleepy. Trying to keep the energy, and I don't know if they felt my sleep, because the conversations were interesting, and I think that's why I was even able to stay awake and active. But man, my mind was telling me, man, you gotta go and sleep, man. You gotta
that's crazy.
Sit. Yeah. And
what time did you start?
We started at 10 p.m. I think.
It was one of those guests who are not available during the day.
Well, they were available during the day, but I wasn't available during the day. So when I scheduled them, I scheduled them for 7 p.m. They ended up showing at 8 p.m. We had dinner. By the time we were done dinner, we started at 10 p.m. and then we went on till like 3 in the morning because there was 3 of them, and it was a very interesting space for me because I think I probably didn't bring my full energy into it, but I want to figure out how to do that because Bartlett does late night shoots. Okay. Like at 2 a.m. in the morning. He's over there shooting. Like he did an episode with Mr. Beast and was doing it like in the morning. And then they stopped midway, went to a store to look for one of Mr. Beast's candy bars or something, the lunch bar. So they stopped shooting, go to a grocery store or like a corner store or something, get a candy bar, and then come back and continue shooting. And that was interesting.
Why do you do this?
Why do I do this?
Yeah.
Man. I have so much fun.
For flipping it.
I have so much fun doing this.
When did you start?
I started in 2021, but I started as a singing podcast.
You mentioned it once.
Yeah, we used to hang. I used to hang out with my friends, and we just used to sing. After doing that for 7 months, I burnt out, and so I stopped doing this for about 3 years, and then I came back last year. And so last year I brought it back as a conversational podcast.
Okay.
And I think over time there's been many reasons for me to do this. One of them was, trying to curate content for my daughter when she's growing older. She probably wants to, I may not be able to share everything with her, but with this, she has an opportunity to know a lot about me and the people that I used to hang out with.
Are you proud about the things you talk about on the podcast to the point that your daughter would see?
I think so. I mean, as she grows, when she's a kid, probably at 5 years old, some of the things we talk about here, I wouldn't want her to hear. But when she is
an adult,
even 16, I would want her to hear this at 16, even at 15.
I wonder about, my podcast, I don't know if my sister watches it.
Have you ever asked her?
No. Because I don't know if I want her to watch it, because maybe she didn't know that side of me. Because I fool around a lot on the podcast. When I'm with her, I'm a bit chill and mellow. In fact, I remember the other day I was in Shags and then I got a beer from my boot.
Yeah.
And then I'm going around the car and then she comes out of the door.
And you hide
the
beer.
You hide I'm a fully grown adult, but I'm like, why? Because the rest of my bros are just there with their beers, like live.
Yeah.
So
maybe she had this picture of you. Are you way younger than her or something?
No, I'm not way younger. Maybe 4 or 5 years. But we have this.
Why do you think you hit it?
Why?
Why do you think you hit the bottle?
Maybe shouldn't have done anything, but I don't know what. That's why I'm bringing it up. Like, why am I hiding? She knows I dabble in drinks up and pale, but I've never openly done things in front of her.
I see what you mean.
I've always curated a certain image. I blocked her on my Instagram so that she didn't see my bits about sex and shit. Right.
Okay.
So,
is it? It's
no, I'm just messing around with it. But if I have a daughter, and you've brought up something which maybe I've never thought of seriously, but I guess it's my life. They'll watch it and say Dad was going through whatever he was going through at that time of his life.
Yeah. And
I feel like being authentic and honest about it is the best gift ever. But for me, hopefully they'll watch it when they're 18 and above, so they don't think I'm just about skomongering and stuff like that. But yeah, I've never thought about that.
I did an episode with my grandfather, so it was for the family though. So I did about 6 hours with him over 4 different sessions. So I visited him once, and then we did I think an hour and a half. Another time we did an hour, and then 2 separate other times we did. About a few hours, maybe an hour.
I did one with my mom.
Okay.
All right. Right. A couple of years before she died. And then that hard disk crashed. Can you imagine?
Man, I'm so sorry.
So after it crashed, my sister is like, hey, where is the video you did with Mother? The hard disk crashed, imagine.
Did you ever try to
I want to do one with my... No, I've never tried. I'm going to try. I'm going to try and do one with my brother, my dad's brother.
Okay. Who
is still alive. That was really brilliant what you did. So where is it? Is it in private somewhere?
I haven't released it yet. So we did the entire thing in Mkisii. But it's going to be for my family only though. Because I'm not sure part of my family is comfortable with their history being out there. Because
why?
I asked my grandfather.
It's like an autobiography.
I asked him very serious questions, intimate questions about him and my grandmother, how they met, how sex was like for them. It was very, very, very
But you don't
serious.
think we'd enjoy that?
You would enjoy that, but I don't know. My uncle will be somewhere thinking, man, why is this kid airing our stuff out in the public? Because they haven't subscribed to that. I asked him about how each of his children came about, how he named them. I asked him about my birth and how that was like for him, because I was born out of wedlock. And so I asked him how that was like for him. And I remember when I was asking that question, my other uncle was there, and my other uncle wanted to whitewash the thing. I was like, no, you are okay.
All right.
Okay. I told him, I waited for my uncle to go and then re-ask the question again.
Okay.
Because I wanted to know what it felt like for my grandfather. And I think he opened up, man. And I think it's a good way even for families to curate their histories.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, just sit down with your folks and talk to them. So one of the reasons I haven't released it yet, because it was done entirely in Mkisii. And part of my family doesn't speak Mkisii. My cousins, they don't understand. I grew up, part of my life was spent in the village, so I'm very good in Mkisii. And I've intentionally learned Mkisii, gotten Mkisii books, dictionaries, and stuff like that. So I use like some vocabulary that is not used by normal people, like your normal.
Oh, you have the deep Mkisii?
I think so.
The Toncherabat. Nanchwanki.
I like the way anybody who's not Mkisii thinks that's how it sounds. High pitched and.
Is that how you got Victor Nyaata here? I was wondering what the connection is.
No, I
Do you
get-
know him
oh,
from
I
his
know-
Mkisii exploits?
No, I was at Mkisii Fest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Shout out
so-
to Victor Nyaata.
Yeah, man,
They're
he's
doing a big thing, those
big
guys.
thing,
huh?
man, with his colleague Osoro. They're doing a great thing, an amazing thing, man. Anyway, so I was at Mkisii Fest. It was in Nairobi, in Carnivore. And while I told him, man, I'd like to have you on my podcast. He told me, take my number. So I took his number, and then I called him maybe a week or two later when
Okay. So you're going to have it translated?
I'm going to have it translated into my into English.
Okay.
Maybe not translated, but what do you call them? Captions?
Captioned, yeah.
I'm going to caption it in English, but I need to find someone to hard caption it because I don't think there's an AI or any sort of
That can
that can understand Kisi. Yeah, and so once I do that, then I'm gonna put
No,
it
it's
out.
funny the way we were thinking about the same thing, but you at least you're actually doing some of these things. Like I spoke to my granddad, my uncle, my dad's brother. After my dad passed on, when someone who's close to you passes on, you start seeing things you didn't see before. Like now, my uncle really looks like my dad. Even the mannerisms, the way he moves his hand, the way he moves his coat. So I met him at my sister's funeral last year, and I told him I'm gonna come. We do a podcast.
Yeah.
And he sounded quite excited. So I think I'll actually actualize it. I'll go with a couple of mics and I sit down with him because there are things about my dad I guess I'll never know. I don't know when he became polygamous. I don't know how he met my stepmom. I don't know if this guy knows those stories. There's another stepmom I had who I don't know much about. Maybe I'll ask him about all those things. Yeah.
And that would be interesting to see. As we were talking about, who you not wanting your sister to watch your podcast. So my mom watches my podcast. Of course, I don't. We're fairly clean and have generally fair conversations here. But every time we've talked about sex, she's probably watching right now, listening to me talking about this. I always think about her. I'm like, so what is she thinking when she's watching this? But she's my biggest fan, man.
Nice. Shout out.
She's watched everything from the singing, and she used to comment, man, on every single episode during the music, man. She was like, God bless you, my son.
Where's your mom?
My mom lives in Toronto.
Oh, okay.
And so she used to watch them so religiously. At that time, she was living in Nairobi, in Nakuru. And she used to, wake up in the morning because it was a live show. A live show in Toronto at 7 p.m. is probably like 4 a.m. here or something. And she used to wake up and watch them, man. Very supportive. And now that I'm having these adult mature conversations, I hope that she still sees value in them. Well,
Do
she
you
probably sees value in
think
them.
about it when you have a guest? For example, me with my whip joke. Does it occur to your
In the back of
is
my
it in
mind?
your conscious mind about my mother will see this?
No, it's not. It's always after when she tells me that, oh man, I watched your episode with so and so. So interesting enough, my episode with Kibe is the one that is on the fringes most of the time. My episodes with him, and those turn out to be one of our most favorite episodes.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, and so after that, I kept talking to my aunties and my female cousins and stuff like that. And I realized that they actually all loved those conversations with Kibe. And I asked them, why do you like them? They told me it's because he was very honest. And he spoke those things very passionately in ways that most other people don't want to talk about them. I was like, oh, okay. So there's value in this. Yeah. And it's interesting to see the family dynamics do you think there's a family that has probably broken up because of something that was shared on a podcast?
I don't know. There's once I shared something about someone, but for me it was a joke.
Yeah.
All right. So it was a comedian who there's a comedian whose sister always comes to the gigs.
Yeah.
All right. And then apparently, which I didn't know, that sister also watches our comedy. Our podcast. And then I joked about Bashir sleeping with that sister.
Yeah. Ooh.
So now she was watching that with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then they see that happening in real time on the screen. So I'm like, yo, that's... So later they were like... So she texted one of these guys and said, Web, what are you guys saying about me on the podcast? So I was like, should I call her? I actually felt really guilty.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, it was a joke. Maybe
Maybe
I
you
shouldn't joke about people who are not in my immediate circle.
Yeah.
Because she's not a comedian. So me saying that Bashir is sleeping with her is just off. So
Probably.
that's the one thing I've ever said on the pod, which
You regret it later on?
I was like, so I met the brother. The brother is a comedian. So I met
Yeah.
the brother. I'm like, yo, I'm sorry about what I said on the podcast. Should I call her? Then he said, no, don't call her.
Yeah.
But I said, yeah, honestly. And if she's watching again, I'm really, really
Apologies
sorry.
accepted.
Do you normally put that disclaimer thing? Like,
I intend to start putting one.
how effective is that thing in the law? Does it help?
I wouldn't imagine that it helps, man. But maybe it does help, but I don't see how it helps because the entire conversation is right there. So you saying, you know what, I'm going to cut you off, but don't worry. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm going to cut you off. And then you start cutting me off. Cutting. I'm going to cut off your hand, but I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I get you. Yeah, I find them to be interesting. I think,
Yeah.
in Kenya, I've seen that disclaimer in mostly South African and Kenyan podcasts now. But in the US, I don't see a lot of that. Maybe because they have the First Amendment. Can you say whatever you feel like?
You could, but you could still be sued, I think, for...
But what if you use the word allegedly?
Some people use that a lot, and maybe that works for them.
Yeah, I think so.
And I try avoiding those subjects, but there's one episode that I did over here that's probably going to air before this episode. So you probably have watched that episode. I did it with Mr. Kitengela, man. That was deep. So for that one, for sure, I'm going to put that disclaimer.
Oh, for
Hopefully it
real?
helps. Man, the guy was going all over the place about very serious
Without
things.
saying allegedly?
Without saying allegedly. I think in the disclaimer, in the disclaimer, you will have seen that I said all these things are alleged.
That's what we normally say on the podcast. We say this podcast is alleged.
Everything here is alleged.
But it's getting more and more serious. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah.
Like this last year, there was a lot of defamation suits.
Yeah, I saw
I think
that.
Obinna had one where he sued, I think, Kiss 100. Got some 6
Obinna,
million.
the one who sued them?
Yeah.
He got 6 million?
Yeah.
Isn't he scared of the same thing happening, like karma coming back on him?
I think even him, he was sued.
Oh, so it's something
There's something
he's used to.
He hosted. Did he host? I don't know if he hosted Gashagwa. There's a guest he hosted who had some opinions. I'm forgetting who it was, but he was also written for a letter. He had to have his lawyer. No, it was Sami Kyoko's in his podcast.
Oh, yes, I remember. He
then-
was enjoined in that.
Yes.
In that
Did
suit.
they sue him, or they just demanded a retraction? Or
I think they sued him, and he was told, I think, to appear in some court somewhere. And he said that nobody has reached out to me. But
so maybe it's still ongoing.
maybe probably still
Yeah.
ongoing. I saw another one with Mwakideu
Exactly.
and Burali.
I'd even forgotten that one.
I don't
that
know
one
how
is
that
worth
went.
20M.
I don't even know, man. You'll sell the entire equipment in the podcast plus yourself.
So I think it's catching steam, the suing people thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think that's gonna make us tread safely in this conversation?
We'll have to be wise about how we speak about stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to have the audience discern who we are talking about. Although it's not a win for us,
Yeah.
because it limits anything that limits our. Because we have very serious freedom of speech in Kenya. I don't know if you notice.
I do agree. It's actually even freer than it is in Canada.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in Canada even. But what's happening in Canada? Because I saw even sometimes pastors are arrested, man.
In Canada, pastors arrested?
Yeah, like
For-
seriously, some pastors preaching about what. And
No,
then
no. I
they
mean,
got arrested.
if you say things that will teeter on, anti-Semitism, then you might get in trouble. Or hate speech, basically, anti-Muslim,
or
anti-Christian.
anti-trans.
Yeah, stuff like that could get you in trouble.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Because you're directly advocating for hate against people who are, of the opposite gender.
But that's the description of what is hate is also very vague. Because I can just say you have said something that I feel hated by you.
Yeah,
Get what I'm saying?
if you say that, I mean, I should take it down. If you say that I feel like whatever you said made me feel some type of way, then you have to take it down, retract,
How
or
the heck are we going to
apologize or something.
progress as society with feelings?
Well, I mean, it's the world we live in. That is what democracy is, right? You want to feel comfortable. You don't want to feel like anybody's infringing on your
but
comfort.
feelings are very fleeting. Like my dad, when he beat me up, I'd feel bad.
Yeah.
All right? But when I grow up, I'd be like, yo, thank God he fixed me because now I am on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
But now, if we are going to if we're going to have a society governed by feelings or raise kids based on their feelings, I don't think we'll do very well in the next generation.
That is true. And you can see like effects of that starting to trickle down onto society. you will see people being easily offended by any small thing, you know, because of the way they were, I guess, raised from when they were kids.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if it's also good. Is it good for your mental health? Because I think that if you need some sort of mental fortitude to be able to navigate life, man. People are hurting you every day of your life, man.
Yeah.
Wherever you're working, people are just breaking your heart. People are just out to harm you or make you feel. Most of the time, nobody's looking out for you, man. You're looking out for yourself.
Yeah, for real. Even the way you react to things, like if you have a good sense to control your feelings, it's easier for you to react to things in public. You get? I remember there was once I was driving and then some guy cut me off on the road. Right? I was much younger then. He cut me off on the road and then he went in front of me and then I flashed my lights at him and then he showed me the finger.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Who is this guy?" So I started chasing him down over here at Dennis Prit.
Oh, really?
So I chased him until I got to Airport Total, overtaking dangerously. I didn't even have a gun or anything. I don't know if I was going to lecture him to death.
Yeah.
So I followed him until Total. Then I'm like, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm. You stopped.
So I stopped and let him go away. But I nearly back in your feeling of hurt.
Yeah.
But that could go sideways a million times.
The guy would pull out a fire, man.
Yeah, he'd say I'm chasing him, I'm trailing him in traffic, so I decided to shoot him and stuff like that. So I think that feeling-based thing is...
I did something similar when I was a kid. A kid is relative. I was, I think, in my early 20s. So I had this small red pickup truck, man. Put up a picture of my red pickup truck. We used to call him Bullet Swift, or her, Bullet Swift. So I'm driving somewhere in Mwiki. As I'm driving down the street in Mkisii, this guy comes with a van and hits me from behind. So he hits me from behind, and then we tell each other we're gonna stop over at the front somewhere there, and then we will have this conversation. So he started running away.
Oh, okay.
So I go and block him. I was with my uncle, so I come out of the car very angry. I go and start slapping him.
Oh, you slapped the guy?
Yeah, slapped the guy. My uncle came and pulled me off, man. Got me in the car so fast and told me, drive, leave.
For real?
Let's go. He told me, you don't know who these people are, man. Never hit someone. I think I was a kid. I was just stupid, full of energy. I think I was probably 20 years old.
Rocky C anger.
Yeah, I think so. I probably didn't slap him, but I tried to. But I held his shirt for sure.
Yeah,
I held his shirt. And then later on, as we're driving away, then I started thinking, man, what if Mwiki is a Mungiki, stronghold, man? What if that guy is like a Mungiki king over there, man? And out of nowhere, man, all these guys come and they chopped me up with machetes, man.
My brother, I was in Shags last week, right? So my brother was in a club.
For context, today is the 2nd of January,
yes.
right? So, yes.
So it was actually 24th of December, right? Right before Christmas. So I go to, he lives in Webuye.
Yeah.
He has wines and spirits, doing fairly well there, car wash, doing well. So he's sort of like a big shot in the area.
Yeah.
So I get there to his joint, and then his wife tells me, ni mzuri mekuja, ongea na huyu. So I get to where he's sitting. I'm like, Connie, what's happening? And then now I sit there, and from the stories, I glean that this guy fought the previous night.
Which guy? Your brother?
My bro. So he fought some guy. He was high as a kite. So he was telling me, I'm ruling. Mi ndio ruler hapa Webuye. Mimi ndio ruler hapa Webuye.
He has a deep Louis accent.
Yeah. So you guy, so apparently this guy slapped a guy the previous night. Okay, that's the story they told me.
Yeah.
Slapped a guy. So his friends were there. They're also pretty high, but they were telling him, hey, bana, unajua ukigonga mtu unaweza, first of all, anaweza kufa or something of the sort. And then now the next day in the morning, my other brother calls me and tells me this guy has been arrested.
Your brother?
Yeah. So he had been arrested.
For assault?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For assault. So I'm like, so what do you want me to do? Is like, maybe you can drive there because they're making frantic phone calls. But now by the time I got to Webuye, I don't know how he had come out. So I met him at his shop. So I'm like, I was even going to call Cliff Umbeta to come and get you out. But my point is, those little things can get you into big
serious trouble, man. I could never fathom doing something like that in Canada, man.
Oh, yeah,
that would get me
bad,
in serious trouble. That would get me in fighting anyone for any matter, man. That would get in serious trouble. There's one time I got into an altercation with a friend of mine, I think that was bad, man. I lifted him up and threw him on the floor. That was bad. If you wanted to take it wherever, that would have gotten me into serious trouble.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but
it was a friend though.
He was a friend.
So he didn't press charges.
He didn't press any charge. I mean, we were arguing. We had this long-standing argument for probably like 2 years or something. We had this sort of back and forth for like 2 years.
Okay.
And so this one day, I think it was just to my.
Imefika hapa.
Imefika hapa. And I think he kept pushing me like, utafanya nini? Utafanya nini? I was like, utafanya nini? What are you talking about? I mean, I even tried to tell him, man, chill out, man. Stop talking. But man, he continued, man. I lifted him up and threw him on the floor.
So how are you doing now? Do you think you're more in control of that rage?
Yes, I am. I think ever since I got married, that settled me down. I think once you even get a
family. Yeah, it puts things into perspective, right?
Yeah, man. Because if you get in trouble now, man, I think that's what happens to your family.
Yeah, true, man.
But I'm uncomfortable talking about my daughter in front of you.
Why?
I don't know, because I know that you lost a kid, and I don't know.
Yeah, you shouldn't be uncomfortable. I lost a kid. Tambo, you guy. Yeah. Okay, then make it easier. But it's. I'm happy to talk about your daughter or whatever happened to my kid.
It's because I try to be sensitive.
No, me. I talk about it on my own pod.
Yeah, I know you do, but
very loosely.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't worry. Don't worry about that.
And so
you feel like I'm feeling bad when you talk about your daughter.
I don't know.
We jump off for that daughter. You guys, me, I'm very, very comfortable. In fact, I'm happy to hear about your daughter. How old is your daughter?
She's 2.5 now. Okay, about. People mention months. They count it down to the month. I don't know how many months old she is. Every time I have to think about it. So I normally say 2.5 or whatever, something like that. And so when I think about ever since I got my daughter, especially, that has made me more patient now, man. Okay. Because children take you through these phases of, I would say, confusion, man. So my daughter was very handleable when she was born. She used to sleep and through the night and stuff like that. But now that she's 2, I think they call it terrific 2s or terrible 2s, depending on what generation you come from. And now she's all over the place, man. You gotta be patient. Sometimes you would clean the house and put everything in order, man. You go take a nap, you come back, man. Everything is all over the place.
All right.
And so now I've even given up, like even making sure that my stuff is okay, because she'll get it all over the.
Is your wife? Are you married?
Yes, I'm married.
Is your wife Kenyan?
My wife is Kenyan, yes.
You met in Toronto?
No, we met in Nairobi.
Before you went?
Before I went.
So you went and waited for her?
Huh? We were all over the place. So she I think at some point she was in the UK, and so we used to visit each other. So she'd come to Toronto, I'd visit her in the UK. And then we decided to get married.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and but I don't know, man. I always see people. It's interesting that many people come back home to get married. Like many people who are in the diaspora, they look for wives in Kenya.
Is your wife Kisiangani?
My wife is Kisiangani.
Hey, you guys,
so there's things I told myself that I'm not gonna compromise on. So I will compromise on many other things, because if you've grown up in your family, I've grown up in my family. You're coming with your 25 years of experience in that family. I'm coming with my 25 years of experience in my family, and so it is hard for us to meet on so many things. So I told myself, you know what, let's disagree on work ethic, let's disagree on how, what type of food is my favorite food and stuff like that. But let's at least agree on 2 things, so culture and religion. So I said I'm going to find someone who we are culturally aligned. So if that would be Kisi or Kenyan or African, that would
like
be
the closer the better.
The closer the better. And so religion-wise as well. So she's Adventist as well. I'm Seventh-day Adventist. Oh, cool. So those 2 things I wanted them, because I am a free thinker, and I want someone who would always ground me. Oh, okay. So I don't want to come with my free thinking, and then you join me in my free thinking, and then we are so aloof.
Yeah. We
don't even know what we believe in anymore. And so that kind of worked for me on that front.
I think one of my, and I don't know how you work this out, one of my challenges, and I'm thinking about 2026, is the work that I've put in on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'm imagining in my mind, and I'm not saying that I enjoy the work, all right, but it's still work.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot of time. Like say now we are here.
Yeah.
We would have been out there.
Yeah, man.
Hanging with the wife.
Over Christmas, over the New Year's, man, I've been working. I was shooting on New Year's.
Yes. So and that's why I'm bringing this up. Like I feel like yes, I'm trying to get into dating and building a relationship. hopefully getting a kid. But the work that is before me for this year alone, for the targets that I have, I feel like I'll spend a lot of my time in the studio. Okay? So how do you balance? Because you also have a day job, which I'm believing is very, you have, because you've mentioned a few things about what you do.
Yeah.
How do you balance this work you need to put in and still keep the missus and the toy happy?
Man, it is a very tough balancing act, man, because my day job takes a lot of my time. When I'm not doing this, I'm doing that. And when I'm not doing that, I'm doing this. So my work takes a lot of my time. But one thing I found is to schedule. Man, and I feel so bad saying this because my wife actually told me one day, you know what, Joab, just schedule me. Because I see you have time for everybody else. But it's because they're in the schedule. And she told me, what, schedule me. So that's what I did, man. I've scheduled time for her. Okay. So one thing that I'm trying to do is make sure that by evening I'm done working.
Okay.
And then that saves me spending time with her in the evening. So dinners, there's no working.
So you're locked in for the dinner.
Yeah.
How about after dinner? Do you get back to your studio?
It will depend. It will depend every once in a while. So I'll probably have, especially when it's when I have a heavy course load. So like in the winter semester, so from January to April, I normally have a heavy course load. I'm teaching 3 courses at a time. So during that time, man, it's a lot of work. So I got to do that. I got to do my research as well, and so I got to keep my research supervisor happy. I got to keep my teaching supervisor happy, and so it's a tough balancing act, man. But somehow you got to figure it out because. At the end of the day, what you got to remember is that these people are the ones who are going to be there when all this is done. We will be podcasting for a good minute. I believe I'll be podcasting into my fair years.
Old age, yeah.
But I don't want to be podcasting and then what after podcasting,
But there's that foundational work, which I believe I am doing. There's that foundational push, like a rocket, the way getting it out is hard. So once it's in the stratosphere, it gets a bit easier.
Yeah.
So I guess I just have to survive this initial push. But it didn't help that I'm turning 45 this year.
Yeah.
So I'm giving myself maybe 5 years before my pod sort of explodes to the level
that you
I
want it to
feel
be.
like it should be. But I guess you're right. I guess you have to get some sort of work-life balance thing going.
Yeah.
And be very strict about it. Because it's very easy to schedule a guest and keep that appointment with the guest, and to schedule a guest during time you're supposed to be with your partner, your wife, your kid. Like, it's very easy. The people around you, it's very easy to push them.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
I'll chill with them next week. They're still around.
And that becomes bad. I think one thing we should be cognizant of is the fact that if you can't have everything, you look at all these successful folks, one saying, I forget his name, the guy who runs NVIDIA.
I've no idea.
Yeah, anyway, so you put up a picture of him. So this guy was on a podcast some time back, and he said that he is working 7 days a week, every day. And when you realize people like this who are putting in so much work into, building something successful, their personal lives are normally struggling a little bit. If you look at Elon Musk, man, look at his, I don't know what his family structure is like, but I would imagine that it's not probably the best.
Well, that guy sleeps on the floor in the factory.
Can you imagine? And so he's building something great here for you and me. I mean, maybe eventually you and I are going to be driving Tesla trucks around. But it means that it was built at the expense of the founders or whatever's personal well-being. So your health might take a hit. Your family might take a hit. Your mental health might take a hit or something like that. And so I hope that doesn't happen to me. And so if I'm trying to build something very successful, vis-a-vis having a successful, family foundation or something like that, I think I'm happy giving up some level of success for the sake of my But family.
I guess we need human beings to do that, though. Like, we need human beings. The other day I had a guy called Alan Oguda on the radio show.
Yeah.
He works on oil, those oil decks in the ocean? Yeah, he works there.
Yeah, the rig.
So, the rig, oil rig. So he was saying the way they spend, was it 48 days there? And then they come back on shore for a month.
Yeah.
And you're saying the way it's comfortable, there's food and everything, but it's still lonely because you're out there in the middle of the ocean.
It's gotta be lonely, man.
But we need the oil for our cars, man. Like, I've driven here. I needed someone to be there so that I can drive here and get here for this pod.
Yeah.
So maybe in every generation, there's just some crazy guys who we need to push over the edge. Because look at Amazon. Amazon is so convenient. Okay, right now Jeff Bezos is enjoying and going for parties and stuff. But his build-up, I think it even cost him his marriage, right?
Yeah, it cost him his first marriage. He's married now, or maybe in a relationship with this other girl.
Yeah, who's a young guy. You don't even know if this person is in it for the money. Relationship. Yeah. But he built something which, in a click, I can get this mic.
Yeah.
From the States. It's shipped over and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe part of society are these outliers who are just crazy. Like these guys for the Reiki squad. Like, I'm sure those guys are not 100. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because of the job they're doing, they need to be focused. But I'm sure if you hang out with them, I'm hoping to have one of them on my pod one day.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if you hang out with them, they're suspicious. They'd walk in here, they're like, who's this other guy?
Yeah. Like when I was having out with Kwatenge was like that.
Oh, for real? Very aware of his environment.
Even the first time that I called him, he didn't want to come on the pod. So Mwafi's one was the connect there. And so I call him and he's like, can you come to somewhere along this road? He gave me the name of the road so we can meet there. We can do the podcast there. I'm like, okay, I mean, I can't exactly do it out in the outdoors because I have a studio and I would love you to come to the studio.
Or him, he wanted you to go where?
Yeah.
Some place?
In some public place, do it over there. He's like, I think he's had a fair share of threats in his life and I think he was suspicious because of that. And so anyway, eventually I told him, so let's do this. Let's meet first. And then, because I know you're probably suspicious, after we've met and you've probably done a recce of me, you can then come and, we can do this.
And it helped.
Yeah, it helped. So I went and met him. So, but before I met him, he called Mwaf. He was like, there's this guy you connected me to. And then Mwaf, oh man, I'm so sorry, I should have called you. Yeah, so he's a stand-up guy, he's a nice guy. Hapa kuna shida nini. I was like, oh, okay. So by the time I'm getting there, it's like, I wish I had that phone call with Mwaf. So that's when we came for the dinner. Remember the dinner? Yeah. So we didn't even have that meeting because I was even late for that meeting because I had a guest who came late. Things snowball and become, whatever. So we drove to the dinner. So in the car we hung out, we got to talk, and he became more comfortable, I guess.
Okay.
And then he came over. But even when he was here, he was very suspicious. You see the way my producer has to walk in and out of the room.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So maybe we need such people on the planet. We need guys who are gonna do the hard jobs. We need the Reiki squad guy who we will call when there's a terrorist blowing up the Westgate joint. Like, yo, where are you, man?
But why?
Guy who's suffering and your family is falling apart. We need you to help us. Then he drives in with his guns and sorts it out.
Why does it have to be me though, or you?
It doesn't have to be. I think sometimes you're just you. What's the phrase? The phrase that says the cards that you've been dealt. Yeah. So. I didn't choose to spend all this time in the studio. I just happened to find that I am not encumbered, but in quotes, with a wife or a kid and stuff. I'm sure my life would have been very different if I had a family.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'd be doing maybe less episodes. I don't know what magic I would have done to have the same level of output. But since I have this extra time, I can do this thing, give it 100%. And then later on adjust with time. So sometimes it's not like, look at you, for example. You're churning out some very good content over here, but it has cost you.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure you'd have been with family.
Of course, man.
Over
I felt bad when on New Year's. I actually felt so bad.
How did you pull that off, bruh?
What?
Being here over Christmas, is your wife around?
No, my wife is not around, so she's very supportive of this.
Okay.
She's very supportive, and I owe it, man. Honey, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Honey, thank you, honey.
Yeah. So she was friendly enough to, she was happy enough to support me to do this, and because of the live recording that we have on Sunday, which you've probably already watched by now, episode 100. So she's supportive that way. But I remember feeling bad so most of my family lives in, my extended family the few who I could have hung out with, they live in one farm. The half of it will be in Mkisii, the other half is in Nakuru. So I couldn't make time to travel to Mkisii to spend time with them. We have a nice property in Mkisii. I would have loved to go and be there. I would have loved to do my podcasting in Mkisii, but I can't fly my guests to Mkisii in a chopper every weekend or whatever, or every day to come and hang out over there. So I have to do it here. So I'm feeling very bad on the first, I think. Was it the first or the 25th? One of them. So 25th, I was able to drive down to Nakuru. No, the 24th. I felt so bad because I was like, man, I feel so alone in this. Because after the guests are gone, I'm so tired. So I just got to sleep. But then where are you going? It's 25th night, going to the 24th night, going to the 25th. So the guest asked me, oh man, I'm going to hang out with this family. I'm going to go hang out with these guys. I'm going to hang out with this. But me, I can't because I'm tired. And because the next day I got to wake up to do something else. So that kind of felt lonely for me. And it was, I felt like it cost me something.
I felt the exact same way because Shags, everyone was there with their kids.
Yeah.
My sisters were there. It was buzzing.
Yeah.
And then I drove back on, I think day before yesterday. So I went to Kitengela. It was so quiet. I'm like for the first time in a long time, I felt. In fact, I was calling a friend of mine who was very insensitive about it. His name is Kiev. So I was trying to express my loneliness. Then he was telling me, "You just be a man." I'm like, like I was telling him, look, I've never felt this for a while, but I felt lonely. I was like, "Eish." Like now I'm just here solo.
Yeah.
I don't think I had any plans. I was just chilling there in the house. So, and that's why I admire you guys who have family. Like there's something you get from just having people around, which you can't explain it, but it's a fulfilling feeling, which I feel all human beings need. Yeah. One of the craziest places to put people is in solitary confinement.
True. When they're by themselves.
They go crazy. Like a human being is not designed to be solo like that. Like they need to see other people.
I think one of our Patiata podcasts, maziwa sikizange hapo in when they're in
Maziwa Siberia upewi podcast, you guys. Maziwa uko hapo solo. Have you read about the prisons in Siberia?
No, I haven't, but
there's
I've
no
heard about
sitting.
Them. Oh.
So you wake up in the morning. You know that you can say antakwa jela but relax.
Yeah.
You get there, you stand up.
Oh wait, when you
after wake up time.
I thought what you meant is that there's no seats.
No.
I thought they sit on the floor.
No.
So you stand.
Yeah, you stand and
walk around.
Busy inside your cell. So there's no.
If you sit down, there's more punishment.
Yeah, there are guards over there checking out if you're relaxing. So it's punishment.
What?
Like it's not. That you can say I've been in jail, like those South American jails where they have radios.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
sure
just
they're even
chilling.
watching this podcast. You guys in Siberia, you'll never see Mwaf for long.
That's where you come out and you feel like the world is so different.
Yeah.
And I've seen the way Nairobi is developing though, man. Every time I come back, I'm always amazed with the level of architecture and the improvement that I see around, at least around the CBD, because I know there's other parts of Nairobi which are still struggling and not doing very well. But I'm always amazed with what's happening.
But what do you think of the supporting infrastructure is not there though?
Yeah, true. I mean, at least you've painted a very good, there's nothing supporting here, but at the very top here, you have a very nice, a cherry on the cake, like the very nice cherry. The cake might be rotten, but at the top we have a nice cherry, like
Nairobi looks
cherry.
Good from the expressway.
Yeah.
Like when you're up there, this is a very serious place.
Yeah,
but now when you get on the ground,
that's where you see the weirdness. I have a friend of mine, Francis Mosetti, shout out Francis. He took a very nice clip of Nairobi maybe 2-3 years ago, and it trended across different channels, I think, including BBC and CNN. Oh, if you can find that clip, Dave, let's put it up. It's a very nice, interesting clip of Nairobi. Yeah. And so it looks very beautiful. But we talked about the vermin, the birds in Nairobi. The marabou stock. And then I thought about vermin at the airport. So I was at the airport on New Year's Eve. Actually, New Year's, I spent my New Year's in the airport. Okay. Like my midnight, whatever, when the fireworks were going off.
Juicy.
I was at the airport. I was picking up an uncle of mine who was moving over here. And so I'm there. It starts raining. So, I mean, so we feel bad that it's raining because, I mean, if it was a developed country, you'd have something over your head. And so we kind of move under the terminal and the guys are kicking us out. There was guys that were saying, no, I'm fine with my map, but I think the rain became more intense, so we ended up staying there. But I'm standing there, man, and I see a massive cockroach the size of a rat.
Damn.
Massive. Walking across the rain, also trying to get to the shelter.
Oh, it was looking for shelter.
Yes.
Did it have an umbrella?
The coating is, the hair is whatever. The wings are an umbrella.
Oh, right.
Know? And then, so we make a joke about the way that it looks like a rat. And then guess what? A rat shows up, man. A massive rat.
Also looking for shelter. You guy. That's crazy.
So that's crazy. And then, so I thought about one thing that interested me in you. So we have a similar interest. We have an interest in flying. I think you did a year of
true.
You probably did the ground school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the ground school and a little bit of flying, but I've never gotten my hour. So I think I actually need to redo ground school because I've forgotten most of the stuff.
Okay.
I need to redo the whole thing basically.
Yeah.
And even the intro to this pod, I normally tell people how I became a pilot during COVID because that's when I started, going for flight school. And I was so
in Toronto.
Yeah, in Toronto. Okay. And I was so excited because I knew that by the time by the time that summer was going to be over, the summer of 2024, I think, I was going to be a pilot. I was going to have my PPL. But that's never panned out because of, what we were talking about, not having enough time to do that.
Yeah.
So how is that something that still interests you?
No, I will. Actually, one of my goals is when the podcast reaches a certain threshold financially, part of the cash I'd use it to go back to ground school. Mm-hmm. Do you know why I want to do flying?
Tell me.
I want to do flying because I love keeping bees. All right. I have a small bee farm in my shags.
Yeah.
And I realized bees thrive. How I got into my interest in flying was after reading a book about a guy called Sam Walton.
Yeah. Sam Walton, the Walmart guy?
Yes, the founder of Walmart.
Yeah.
If you read about him, he used to fly to his different branches.
Mm-hmm.
Like that guy was living a very different lifestyle.
Yeah.
So he'd fly and go check out his different branches of Walmart.
He flew himself or other pilot?
Yeah, he flew himself. Mm-hmm. So I was like, this is cool. Even me, I want to fly.
Yeah.
And then next, I needed a reason to be flying because I just don't want to fly aimlessly.
Yeah.
So the reason I want to fly is I want to have beehives in very remote places because that's where you can have big, a huge number of
beehives. Yeah.
And then there are all this, what are they called? Conservancies. So the conservancies, my goal, I fly there, check out my hives, fly to another conservancy, check out my hives over there.
Yeah.
Fly back to Nairobi, you guys, and come and do a podcast.
Yeah.
Guy, man!
That's
Future
amazing.
is looking bright.
I have a friend who lives that lifestyle. His name is Greg Mink. He's
Is he a YouTuber?
He's not a YouTuber. He's more of an Instagrammer. Maybe he's on YouTube too. I mean,
Tell me.
I'll go and check him out. But I met him in the hospital space. So he rents out medical equipment to different hospitals across America. It was his father's company that I think he inherited. And so to visit the different places, he flies himself. He has a Premier One jet.
So the business supports the flying.
Yeah, so I mean, the flying is like a tool for him to travel to these different places.
But it should make sense, right? The fuel you're burning.
Yeah, man. And so it's interesting. I mean, so he does air his stuff on Instagram, like his flights on Instagram, and it's very interesting, just to see him. So the interesting though that he flies by himself. He doesn't have an assistant like a first officer or anything like that. So he's just by himself in the entire jet by himself. Sometimes I'm like, what would happen to him? What would happen if something happens to him? And like there's nobody to fly the plane.
Have you seen these new planes which can land themselves?
Yeah, man. I think that's where everything is headed now.
Yeah,
the good thing about aviation is that you can always add on something onto your plane to make it, more advanced. I think that's what Kina, our podcasting friend Eric, they have a very easy time now with their flying. With the kind of planes that you and I could fly, the small single engine planes. You do a lot of work, man, and they're very uncomfortable. But once you get to level of flying a jet, man, it's very comfortable.
But you know how uncomfortable it is until you get to fly the jets.
Yeah.
It's like driving someone's car. I don't like driving people's cars, especially if they're better than mine.
Yeah.
Because it makes you hate your own car. You're like, what is this? So as we are flying those smaller planes, we won't know that there is a more comfortable Piper plane because this is what we have right now.
Yeah.
Why do you want to fly? Do you want to do commercial?
No.
Just
I'm probably gonna get a PPL and I'll be okay with the PPL. Maybe I'll get a CPL so that I can. I don't know. So my end goal is this. I want to be able to do podcasting in a farm somewhere,
Oh, flying in the guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So that means you can even live in Luandeti.
Yeah, man. In your village.
But the podcast has to make sense enough because Joe Rogan flies in his guests.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
By himself or by? I think he.
commercially.
Yeah, commercially.
I think. No, that would be really cool because now you can live in the outdoors in your Mkisii farm.
Yeah.
And then you just fly in whoever you want to speak to, and then. But now that means you have to fly them back, which is also boring.
Yeah, my flight is close by here though. My farm is close by here, close by Nairobi.
Where is your farm?
It's in Masailand in Kajiado.
Oh, you've got an adjoint somewhere.
Yeah.
Is it near that? There's a small airstrip in Kajiado towards Rongai.
No, it's
A private one.
It's not close to it. But so what I'm hoping to do is I want to buy the piece of land next to my farm so I can build my own airstrip there.
Okay.
And then I can be able to. They could take off from Wilson to my farm. Or alternatively, if the money makes these are dreams though, man.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're sharing dreams. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, get a helicopter, and then the helicopter can fly them back and forth from wherever they are. Maybe helicopter will be more convenient because I can find you from wherever you are in Rongai or in wherever you are.
Can also be like part of the experience.
Yeah. I think the Joe Rogan podcast though, man, that's massive. But I think all these guys flying their guests, even like once you get to like 1 million subscribers, and you're doing like our kind of content with like guests, I think it gets to a point where you're able to access anyone. You can literally call the former Prime Minister of England, Tony Blair, and like, can you come over? So you have to fly Tony Blair over.
Yeah. You can't have him. You can't tell him on Thursday at 10.
Yeah.
No, but that's really dope, man. Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, man. But thanks for hanging out with me, man. I know you have, you have to be somewhere.
Yeah, I have to be somewhere. I'm sorry I've put up a plug in the party.
No worries,
but
man.
I'm going to pick up my salo, man.
Yeah, man. It's needed.
It's needed, you guys, for January. But I'm also having you on my podcast on Monday. I don't know when this will air.
It's gonna air sometime in March.
Oh, okay.
So you definitely, by the time you're watching this, you've already seen me on the Kisiangani podcast.
Yeah.
And I hope that I did a good job over there.
No, I'm sure it's gonna be fun. Your mother won't be watching, so at least.
Interesting enough, I had my first episode where I was a guest was Mwaf's podcast, and I thought that I did a horrible job. At least that's what I felt. So I was on Mwaf again recently, and I felt like I'd improved, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that was my third podcast, but my second one was the Otis, and then I went back to Mwaf's.
So what makes you feel like you have done better than...
Because I was more comfortable. Man, the first one I was so on the edge, man. And I was kind of not prepared because Mwaf does lots of reactions. So he was asking me questions about things that were going on. Man, I have no idea. We're talking about...
Yeah, he's interesting.
Yeah, and...
Cheki, nataka tu react history ya flood za hapa Bondo. Umecheki flood? Cheki hapa nasija cheki. No, ebu you watch.
And he's like, what do you think about this and that and this and that?
So the next one, you're a bit more chill.
Yeah, the next one was a bit more chilled. In Eoto's podcast, I was more relaxed. I was scared that I did a bad job there, but when I watched myself, I think it was okay.
I think most of the time when we think we've done a bad job, that's the nice podcast. Yeah.
But
to the people watching.
Yeah, to the people watching.
Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes when you think we've done a good job, that's like people are like, what the boring stuff was this. So it's so hard to predict. That's why it's hard to predict virality.
Yeah.
You can have a guest who you thought is a very famous guest. You'll have him on and have 10,000 10,000 views in a day. And then he's not working out.
Yeah.
And yet it worked out when he was on another pod. And then you can also have just this unassuming individual who you bring in. And then guys are just watching that stuff.
I did an episode with Mr. Nice, and that surprised me. And another episode with Bright, and that surprised me. So Bright's episode didn't get as much traction because
Bright
Gamili is a cybersecurity
professional. Okay.
And so we talked about very interesting stuff there over there, but nobody beat anything. Nobody was biting.
That one is the one you thought will.
Yeah, I thought that people are gonna. This is important stuff, man. You gotta know how the FBI has access to your phone, man. And that's what the thumbnail said. The FBI, the DCI, and the CIA can get access to your phone. And of course, we talked about that for like a minute or so, and how you could protect yourself against that, but nobody watched that. And then I with the Mr. Nice podcast, it was about Freemasonry. So I said the life of a Freemason. I mean, that got a lot of traction, man. And I was like,
But also, I feel like these podcasts are like banking stuff.
Yeah.
Like you never know when now guys will land on Bright's podcast and then it hits.
Like this DCI stuff.
Yeah. Because if you observe, because if you look at your analytics, it really focuses on the most current podcast.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you dig and go back, you're like, hey, this podcast was at 1,000. Now it's at 3,000.
Yeah.
2,000 people have watched. So I think it's just, as you've said, I feel like what we are doing is we are documenting history in real time. And we have the privilege of being interested in doing that.
Yeah.
And, sometimes certain aspects of history, people are not interested in it as much. But there's one individual who's just like, that podcast with Bright, it was my favorite podcast.
Yeah.
Then there's some other guys will be like, hey, watch me find out what the heck is going on with Freemasonry. But in all the instances, we are documenting history, which is a great thing to do.
True. In the tradition of this podcast, as we are landing this plane, I do something over here that was borrowed from the U.S. presidency. I treat my guests like presidents. By the way.
Nice.
And so in the U.S. presidency, the guy in office normally leaves a letter for the next guy who's coming into office. And so since this is a podcast and we can't leave letters here, maybe I should do letters. What we do is ask questions. And so the guests who are here most recently left questions for you. So the reason that I've said guests and questions because there was 2 guests. I had a podcast with 2 guests. And so I know I don't see these questions until right now. So you're going to have an opportunity to answer 2 questions.
Okay.
Most of my other guests only get 1 question. So you are a special president.
Yay!
And so do you want me to ask them together or one at a time?
One at a time.
So the first one is, if you had a chance to meet someone this year, who would it be and why?
Okay, I can't say who, because now they'll watch this podcast and become weird. No, but there's a specific chick I'd like to meet.
Okay.
She seems very interesting.
Is she Nzige?
I will not answer that.
Okay.
But say the question again. Let me answer it more seriously.
If you had a chance to meet someone this year, who would it be and why?
I'd really love to meet Elon Musk.
Okay.
I feel like he's done a lot with a very short lifespan. And if I can learn even a quarter of what he knows about being effective, I think it would take me to the next level. Not to meet him to give me a handout, just to figure out how do you manage your time to do all these things at this level of effectiveness. All right. I learned later in life that the skill of managing is superior to many other skills. Like it's managing at your level. So how to manage your time, your resources, I think those are the main things, your time and your resources at your level. And that's what grows you to the next level. Okay? So the faster you learn, the faster you'll move to the next class. Because you have to learn this class to move to this class. So I feel like if I can meet Elon Musk, for example, and glean that information from him and able to be applied in my own life, I think I'd do better with the years that I have left. Yeah.
True. It's a very interesting space. Man, Elon has done so much, I think, for humanity. I don't know how much of what he's done is useful. Some people, have different with of how they feel about it. But the fact that he's even thinking of taking people to space, man, I think there's something there.
I think it's about how far you're taking this thought process thing. See, like you saying you want to have a farm where you can fly in your guests. Very practical, very, it's something anyone can think of, but not many are thinking like that. Because your mind maybe hasn't reached that level of processing thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay? So the more we can be able to process our thoughts to the next level, because your ceiling is that level at which you're thinking.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can tell someone's life from at least at this, they can be at this level, but their thinking is here.
Yeah.
So if you stay long enough around them, you'll find them there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You for yourself there.
So I feel like if we can quickly adapt that skill of elevating our thinking to the next level and doing the things that need us, that take us to that level, we'll definitely see progress over the years. Because principles, like if you work a principle, it will work. You know, like the law of flight.
Yeah.
There are things you do and then the law of flight comes through. Then if those things stop working, the law of gravity now brings you back down.
Yeah.
So we just need to know how to work the right principles in order for us to take off.
Sure.
Am I even making sense?
You're making sense, man. I'm going to ask you your next question because I don't want to keep you beyond your time. Your next question is, what is your greatest achievement?
You guys, my greatest achievement is the podcast, you guys, to be honest.
Yeah, man.
So far, I tell you why. Because most of the things I've done are for me.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know why I got this bag of... I remember when I was young, I used to tell my sister the way I used to tell her, I'll be a man of impact and influence. So she'd laugh. This guy likes saying that. So, but I didn't know how I'll make impact or influence, all right?
Yeah.
So my greatest achievement is when I put out a video and guys actually watch it, and then I see it growing, and then I see like the income coming from this watching, people watching, going up, and being able to pay studio rent, pay, me and Kina Bashir get a few G's up on a pale. It's not there where it's supposed to be, but somebody normally says money you make from your gift is the sweetest money.
Yeah.
Because I made more money elsewhere.
Yeah.
But that money you do, like say, because I'm also a stand-up comedian, you do a set, somebody pays you, it feels really good. You're like, hey, someone is paying me for this.
Yeah.
So that's something you do for free, right? So that's why I feel like so far our biggest achievement, and I say our very purposefully, our biggest achievement alongside the guys who watch our pod is just building it up to where it is right now.
Yeah.
And just the anticipation of where it could go. Okay? But I guess between here and there, there's some work we have to put in. But so far, that's the biggest. Especially last year. Shout out to last year and the guys who've been supporting us last year. It was really good for us.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If you made it this far, I think it's because you did enjoy this episode. I've been hanging out with Mr. Emmanuel Kisiangani of the Kisiangani Podcast. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe, and remember to tell your friends to tell their friends. Till next time, do take care.
Cheers.
Kwaheri.